Right. Today is Friday, okay, and I know I'd made an earlier promise that I would shift Diabumi from Wednesday till today. So what I'll do is that in order to meet the promise, I'll do half of it, and the other half I'll do with varied things that would catch your interest. Okay. From next Wednesday, we'll go back to our regular schedule, so nothing spoil, as they would say.
Uncle Jimmy, how come you don't have a guest for Diabumi today?
No, because it's a okay. You are the guest.
No.
I was just you put your two legs into it. You have now become the guest.
I was just curious.
That's what I'm saying. You are the guest.
Oh wow.
No, it's because it's just an abridged version, really. That's why. But from next week we'll have a guest.
All right.
Okay, now so let's start with some philosophical thinking. Today is Friday, and I'm reading from the Vanguard, Arun Balogun's page, and it says that final decisions of all matters rest with Almighty Allah, or you would say final decisions of all matters rest with God. And he says here, seems America, who wrote the book on democracy, is finding difficulty on how to determine the actual winner of her latest elections. Nerds, seers, and myriad experts have ceaselessly counted for 4 long days, all to no avail. What kind of opaque and extraordinary spectacle is this? Has America lacked confidence in her own worthiness? How can this nation of mighty minds and muscular technology fumble so woefully? There must be much more to these torments that's offering lessons to the rest of the human family. When life is tough but leisurely, praise Allah. But when what we routinely do yield perplexity and crass calamity, fear Allah and seek the earth fervently pray. What it means is that when you face life's challenges, pray to God, to Allah, to whichever you believe in. Allah sought out America by making the rest of us awake to her bullied submission to the obscenities of power that's now smoldering with fury. Oh Allah, please remove the barbarous leader of America, Mr. Trump, whose ways are greedy, oppressively tragic, and dangerously ridiculous. We know nothing except that for which Allah has lent to us understanding. Lend to us planetary management by the powers of your love that brace the earth with the supple control of our love of one another. We beseech Allah without a moment of holding back that you permit it that each of us would prevail to the highest level of life's fulfillment, inshallah. That's Dr. Adewale Adeyo, OON. This is from Harun Balogun's page, Facing the Kaaba. In fact, I think I need to drag this gentleman in, Harun Balogun himself. It'd be nice to talk a little bit about Islam. Huh?
Right.
Yeah, I know you'd love that. I know you'd love that. Now, there was a story this morning, and I'd like to get your comments on it. And it has to do with the Lagos State government, arresting 31, traffic offenders and ordering the forfeiture of the 33 vehicles over traffic offense. Now, at face value, the penalty looks draconian, but I agree with the government that the level we have gotten to now, with both traffic and the environment, and generally in the society, we need to come down hard on offenders. And this story says that the Lagos State Mobile Court has ordered the forfeiture of 31 vehicles to the state government over violation of a traffic rule. The drivers of the vehicles were arraigned by the Lagos State Environmental and Special Offences Unit Task Force on one count of driving against traffic. I honestly can't make out why anyone, in all honesty, would. Though I must admit that sometimes circumstances demand that you can't do otherwise. I mean, if you look, for example, at the Apapa Oshodi Expressway and the confusion that is there, I don't think anybody will be arresting you, even though it's wrong, for driving on the wrong side of the road. The place is locked down in all kinds of confusing construction and whatever. However, the offense, for everybody to know, was said to be punishable under Part 3, Item 27 of the Lagos State Transport Sector Reformed Law of 2018. Now, the report says that following the plea of the drivers, no, this is wrong. It is not the plea. It's not following the plea of the drivers. It said, despite the plea of the drivers, that's what the punishers have said, the court ordered the forfeiture of their vehicles to the state government. And then the court also ordered 43 other drivers to pay various sums as fines to the state government for applying the BRT corridors and causing road obstruction. Well, I must say that I'm glad that we're beginning to enforce discipline in our lives. But I would like for the governor to instruct his people to make sure that, let us see if we can catch about 3 or 4 elites of good standing to set a very good and clear example of zero tolerance for traffic offenses. Remember that with these, especially those who drive on the wrong side of the road, I've seen them pop up on Carter Bridge, not once, not twice, and I almost flipped. In fact, I almost had an accident myself. It's very common for you to see, like on Carter Bridge, especially motorbikes. Motorbikes need to understand that they are bound by the same traffic laws as vehicles to some extent. And therefore, going the wrong side of the road, beating traffic lights, they will also be held responsible. It would be nice to know what you think about all this. It would be nice what you think about all this. So we'll open up our lines, 0700 993 993 993, and of course Twitter is at Nigeria Info FM. Okay, we'd like to know what you think about the law and what you think about the punishment that has been meted out. I'm in full support of this. More so if we can get, because the biggest offenders really are elites. Now the question is, if you have a car and you have a driver, the driver goes to pick the kids in school, you send him on errands, you better be sure that you have some indemnity for loss of your vehicle should he, once you are not in the car, go, because drivers tend to do that a lot with other people's cars. So if you have a car that costs you about 15 million, 20 million to buy, and the driver thinks that Ogana big man, that goes through one way, then your car is seized. By the way, it would be nice if the state government could tell us what happens to seized cars. I think the best thing that can happen to seized cars really is to take them to a crushing plant so that we don't have controversies surrounding these things. Okay? I think that would be better than trying to auction them or whatever. That would then be fraught with all kinds of irregularities, and the whole purpose would have been defeated. So our lines are open. Do I have a caller yet?
Sure.
Hello?
Hello, good morning, Uncle JD.
Morning.
Good to have you here for the first time, on Nigeria Info. My name is Chukwuebuka. I'm calling from Shomolu. Uncle JD, whether we like it or not, we've always believed, that laws does not really exist in Nigeria, mostly in Lagos, and it boils down to enforcement.
Yes.
It's not as if there are no enforcement. There are, but like you rightly said, my take is this. Let us have the elites arrested and displayed. Let us even have the uniformed men also arrested and displayed before the public.
Yes.
If that is done, I can assure you the law enforcement agents wouldn't even need any trouble. Everybody would do what we are lying and do the right thing. I could tell you this for free, Uncle JD, like we all know.
Well, even if you didn't tell me for free, I won't pay.
And in particular, because whatever happens, the elites will always say, I'm in position. They fear these people a lot. Because now we'll look at the elite or the uniform man and just move away and want to arrest me. So, Uncle JD, that is when we'll know things are really working in the real sense. It's a welcome development. I like that.
Yes.
For drivers on the express, they will face one way. If you're driving, you will be scared. Thank you.
Well, talking about that, thank you very much. Talking about downfall drivers, I wonder who how comfortable our authorities feel approving those vehicles for public transportation. Some of those vehicles are not even fit, to convey pets to the vets. Talk less of conveying rams or cows for human consumption. I think the Lagos state government, and indeed the party, the APC, because governments they are, over the years they've been in control, need to take a very cursory look at the issue of downfalls, same way they did with the Molue. And I don't think that because there's so much poverty in the land, we should live like animals and move around like animals. I believe that it would be nice for us to move around in a much more decent manner than what we have. Okay, so that's my take on that. Can I have another one? Hello, good morning. Hello, morning.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
My name is Pastor. I'm calling you from Iko.
You have to speak up a bit, sir. Are you using speakerphone?
Yes, I said my name is Pastor Rich. I'm calling you from Iko area.
Okay, I can hear you loud and clear, sir. Please
Bless
go on.
you, sir. Bless you, sir. The problem we have is lack of education. I was
Yes.
a example driver for 11 years in Nigeria. Before from there, I began to do the work of God. I still go to school.
Okay.
These people you are seeing, they are human beings. They go for their daily bread. You understand?
Yes.
I drove for 11 years with several conductors, and if you go there now, they are still behaving the same they behaving that time. You understand? Because the government is not trying to educate the people on the way they want it to be, not just to arrest. These people motto and you people are happy. No, there is no education. People are just living. When they wake up, they go to work, they come back, they don't understand the road system, they don't even know what is happening. Some of them who are, come from a low-rated home, they are always to, if they don't see money, they look for where to get money. Some of them really still want to die. You understand?
Okay.
Some people will say, where fire point? People are just, some people are not happy doing that work. You understand? They need education. You people should not just be supporting the seizures of motor, confiscating people. So it's not like that. When you don't know something, you can easily abuse it. That is my take.
Okay, thank you very much. Odia said, David says that I don't agree about when you say the elites are more of the culprits with more of the culprits. Oh, you touched that. You touched that down. Okay, he was making. Well, the point he was making is that there's no need to. Okay, fine, I got it now. I said I don't agree when you say the elites are more of the culprits who break traffic rules. The elites don't have to be the focus. We are to be held accountable for our choices. Yes, but it would be nice to make an example out of them because they should know better. I'm sorry, sir. Odia said, David, I disagree with you. You've made your point, yes, and I understand it. But I also believe that, you see, this big manism in Nigeria, it has to be curtailed. This idea that has gained grounds to say that I'm above the law, it has to be curtailed. The IG has issued an instruction, for example, that no private person should have police escort. I still tend to believe that there are one or two persons that shouldn't have police escort that actually do have it, and therefore, it would be nice if we could get one or two known. Because look, listen, we are not targeting the elite as if we are telling them to go commit the offense. But if you do the crime, you must be ready to do the time. So that's the way it works. Just so that to set an example that, look, nobody is above the law. Now, the other issue that the pastor mentioned earlier, to say that is it's a matter of education, I don't think so. I don't think anybody needs to be educated about the propriety or otherwise of taking one way. You don't educate an adult on that. When the law says don't go this way, you don't go that way. It's the enforcement. I don't believe in education. I think we've been pampering our public, with this idea of education, and what we do is that we use that as an excuse, for bad behavior. If you have a driver's license, well, let us start from you shouldn't be driving if you don't have a driver's license anyway. But if you have a driver's license, surely you've gone to driving school or whatever, as the law now says, and you should know the difference between going down the wrong side or whatever. You don't need education. Even primary school students know that. So I think it is enforcement. And that applies all over the world. It's not peculiar to Nigeria, because somebody would probably pop up and say, oh, in some other countries, they are well disciplined. No. What has made them well disciplined is enforcement. And enforcement is even easier when it is automated. The Lagos State government started something like that, and I don't know if it still continues, where they had lights, they had these lights that would pick you if you beat the lights, and so they had this camera, if you beat the lights and so on and so forth. Maybe if we have more of that and less human contact with those who are supposed to enforce the law, it will even be better, because it will be automated. It will go in the records. Okay, I'd like to take one or two more, then we'll move over to something else. Hello, morning.
Uncle Jimmy, good morning.
Morning, sir. How are you?
My name is Sunday. Hi.
Yes.
Uncle Jimmy, I've been listening to your program most of the time.
Yes.
I know what you say. They tell some word about that poor driver today this morning. I mean, therefore, how you expect someone you buy a bus of 2 million, and you say that bus is not even good to carry an animal, that they can carry public, for carry people. Uncle Jimmy, you don't know that bus drivers, they are also human beings. They are drivers. They have to go work and feed their family. They have family that they will feed.
Okay.
Sir?
All right. Yeah, fine. I get your point. You missed the point I was making. First of all, I said some, not all. Okay? And as far as I'm concerned, if you cannot meet the minimum condition, you have no business putting both your life and your passengers at risk. So that's the point that I'm making. Some of them are not fit for public transportation. I didn't say all, and I didn't condemn all downfall drivers. It's very important when we listen to programs and things like this that we pay good attention to what is being said, not what we imagine is being said. Yours was what I would call an emotional outburst. All downfall. I didn't say all. I said some. Some are okay. There's no doubt. Some of the fresh ones that we have, those white buses, they are okay. But if you do see some of these downfalls, no brake lights, no trafficator, completely battered. If you can't do this business, look for something else to do. That's the honest to God truth. I don't believe in excuses saying that, okay, because it costs so and so. You mentioned 2 million. For 2 million, you can get a decent bus. And it's a matter of maintenance. That's what it is. It's a business. What if you go to your doctor and he says, ordinarily, if you have malaria, he says you should get 5 injections for 5 days, but because the cost of that is too much, so he says, okay, he will only give you 2 days. How would you feel? How would you feel? Or the suspicion we have in the pharmaceutical industry that some of the drugs that are made here and some that are imported, the active ingredient is not up to the recommended whatever. We should stop making excuses for what I will call bad behavior. In all honesty, we should stop making, and I think people themselves need to be a bit more careful. There are some vehicles you see you should not go into. You should know that you're putting your life. If a cursory look at the tires, for example, will show you that all the tires are worn. Okay, a cursory look at the driver himself sometimes will show you that you better wait for the next vehicle that is coming. So don't let's make excuses for these things. I'll take one more call, then we'll see how far we go with that.
Actually, sir, we have just 1 minute before adverts.
You said 9:25.
Yes, but we've spent some minutes ahead of that. I'll explain later.
One of these days, I hope I don't hit this machine in anger. All right, since we have less than a minute, we won't take the call so that we don't cut you halfway. What we'll do is that we'll just get ready to take the commercial break, and then when we come back, I will use the other half for Diabumi as promised. Okay? So don't go away. We'll be right back.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Hello, my name is Ronke from Ikorodu.
Hi, I'm Rebecca from Festa. My name is Ahmed from Apapa.
I want to tell you about my radio. My radio is my best friend.
My steady companion.
My radio keeps me informed
All day long with hot topics.
news, politics, and current affairs.
There is something missing in the world today. It's the one thing that can make the world okay. And it doesn't cost nothing, no, you don't even have to pay. Oh. It's about doing the right thing every day. 'Cause you are the light, you are the sign, you are the only hope, keeping hope alive. Do the right thing, let the world see, let the light shine everywhere. And when it seems like no one's watching, do the right thing anyway. Just do the right thing all the time, and you'll be sure to have the whole world saying yeah.
Protect them from cavities.
Toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Yes, your Momo agent, you fit send and receive money, plus to withdraw money for your bank account without card or data. You fit also buy airtime and data or pay any kind bill where you want. Just dial *223# to see the Momo agent when near you. Momo agent. Safe, fast, no wahala.
Every day, someone stands a chance to be a winner.
Really?
Yes. 50,000 naira every week on Just a Minute Game Show. Just call into any of our shows. The Morning Crossfire, What's Up Lagos, The Sunny Side, and Hard Facts. Answer as many questions as possible within 60 seconds and we'll be giving out 50,000 naira every week. Yes! 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 Winners will be announced on Hard Facts with Sandra Ezekrisili. Just a Minute, the game show for everyone on your number one station for talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Odindi 25 years. 25 years now, I take walk from morning till night, make my soul figurehead become something for this life.
Get justice.
Nigeria. I'm on Apple app or Google Play Store. Oh, station for Nigeria through Nigeria.
If accent is only but click on Fishing Mode Untickable. Other trade needs opportunity including legal cycles. However, this is about accessibility to you. We are also to go over to Nelagas, 35 networks, multiple assets, live artificial innovation, and multiple account types. Always ready to develop service, reach from MK and you and this next vision. Months. The number of energy set has 9 Labels. All 09284.
You are listening to Love Station.
Okay, so welcome back. Let's get 11 and 6 more users to report it. I feel it's way, and I recommend it. This is about to stand but one, but do like a sham. Once I soon back from our honeymoon, what started feeling in husband, sorry, darling, what in that my husband was involved in one or two other women. I didn't get a whiff of it until a friend of one of his girlfriends asked what happened to my pregnancy. I wasn't a friend of hers, but she told me her friend, who was a long-time lover of my husband, was devastated when she learned I was pregnant and he had to marry me. All of these girlfriends knew my husband, so did her family. And when I got home, I confronted him and he admitted he'd been having an affair for months. Right, so she's now wondering what she should do. The question is, I honestly wonder why people feel that the more lavish the wedding, the more stable the marriage might be. I tend to believe that you find a lot more people focusing on the wedding as opposed to the marriage. And there's a general feeling of wanting to show off. Yeah, people say, no, it's my special day. Well, in these current times again, maybe this is the time for one to plead someone in how you go about organizing what we call lavish weddings. For instance, why don't you save the money, use it for your everyday living, as it were, you know. So I believe should be off the line and consider on in the marriage. So I feel sorry for what's her name again. I feel sorry for Mercy. Let me read what. No, if you want to read what Diabumi read, then go and get a pass. This is to pepper those who said Diabumi or nothing for today. People like my good friend Mr. Coker. Go buy the Wednesday paper and find out what Diabumi says. Zainab, what's your view about people indulging in what they call lavish weddings? Do you think it makes sense?
Well, the word lavish itself, it's what I don't support anyway, because I'm not such a huge wedding freak person.
Okay.
So everything in moderation. But people tend to do that sometimes because they have the means to do so. And then instead of doing that, I think I'd rather just organize some certain number of people, I wouldn't. Instead of wasting money making everything lavish, it is not required. It is not necessary. So I am not a fan of lavish wedding.
Yeah. Look, the fact that you can afford something doesn't mean that you do it. The first thing you need to take cognizance of is the environment in which you are. With the level of poverty that you have in this country now, you better be careful. Even if you have the means, how you exhibit the such wealth.
Yeah.
Yes, I would plead for caution, to all those who are planning weddings, especially for parents who sometimes push their children. What you're doing sometimes is exposing these children. I'd rather, if you had the means, there's so many other ways you can, you can spend all the money on a fantastic honeymoon. Go for a 1-year cruise. You understand? There are ways you can spend the money and have a very good time. But I think it is this character of show off on our part. Nigerians like showing off. If only Mama could see me now. Oh, I suffer too much. I suffered. I don't want my children to suffer, and so on and so forth. Then you now put them in harm's way.
But Uncle Jody, sometimes I feel like people don't really think it's actually lavish. Maybe it's an avenue to gather people together, especially if you're one of those people that likes to attend other people's parties. So you want them to see.
Lavish doesn't necessarily have to do with the numbers. Lavish has to do more. Yes, the numbers, yes, but it has to do more with the ostentation. Champagne, for example, is a ceremonial drink. Most people don't know that. The reason why it is that expensive, amongst other things, is that champagne is supposed to be a ceremonial drink for toasting and whatever.
Right.
And they're supposed to be drunk in limited. But you do find people at parties serving champagne in, almost one to each person, and stuff like that. Champagne costs about 35, 40, 50, 60, 70,000 a bottle. And I think that even if you get the money, make you get sense. Yeah, I still don't believe that more so in our own environment. It is very important that we be very careful. For example, look at the bridal dress.
Right.
Some of them cost a fortune, but you're only going to wear it once in a lifetime. What is done in other climes is that all these dresses are up for rent. Yeah, you rent it, wear it for that day.
So it is here in Nigeria as well.
For now.
Yes.
Oh, it's up for rent now.
That's happening, yes.
Okay, I'm glad to know that, because usually after that day, the dress is gone. Except, of course, it is none of these ceremonial bridal dresses.
Right.
Okay, so that's that. Let me see. There's a phone call there. You might want to comment on that. Hello, morning.
Hello.
Morning, yes.
Good morning.
Yes.
I think lavish, the word you are looking for is extravagant.
Exactly.
Yes. Lavish is something but it's the extravagancy that is offensive. But you're right.
But isn't lavish the same as extravagant?
Not necessarily.
So what does lavish mean?
It's ample.
Is what?
Ample.
Ample.
Yes, ample.
Humble.
Ample. A-M-P-L-E. Ample.
Okay, now, what does ample mean? I'm hearing this. I know that Yoruba people who, when they want to pronounce apple, they say ample. But I don't think you're talking about apple. What does ample mean?
When it is lavish, it's ample. That means everybody gets the share. You give it to so many people that it's no scarcity. Which is okay. But to be extravagant is to, spend unnecessarily, especially when you don't have the means, as your co-presenter said.
Zainab. Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Thank you. Zainab,
And what you said?
do you want to react to what he said?
So I was going to ask. I was going to say that he's probably looking at the word lavish as a negative one. That was why he was trying to correct that it's ample, and that even sounds positive. I mean, right instead of saying lavish. Lavish is already giving the impression of.
There was a lavish ceremony. Well, extravagant means going beyond. Okay, I see what he means. I concede to him. Lavish could be big. Extravagant is beyond board.
Oh, okay.
So he might have a point there.
But why does it look like the word lavish itself sort of connotes negative? Like, so these people are just spending lavishly. Like,
here you go again now.
So I think it's about having the means to do it. I mean, you have the money. You probably have a number of people you want to attend.
Are you sure that lavish and extravagant don't mean the same thing?
Oh, okay. I'll check my dictionary.
Check your dictionary. Let me put it this way.
Okay.
Let's simply put it this way to say that they have the same implication.
Okay.
If you say the ceremony was lavish or was extravagant, again also is like the extreme of lavish. So I think we can grade it to say that from lavish, you then go to extravagant. Extravagant means that you've gone completely beyond board. Right. Okay. So so in a way he's right. This word ample that I don't know. The ample that I know are my people. When you ask them, ample level. Okay. Okay, I think we have time for one more there with me. I said I'll just do a bit of it. Julius says that I had this relationship with a girl I really love for over 10 years, but things are a bit still now. A few months ago, I ran into the girl and I was with before I met her, and it was great remembering old times when I was fancy-free. My ex and I swapped phone numbers and sent each other some jokey texts. Now my partner has found out and called me a cheat. How do I convince her there's nothing between my ex and I? You can't. Once somebody is an ex, I think you just leave them alone. What do you think? Can you be friends with an ex? Is it healthy?
Uncle Jimmy, I think it's possible sometimes.
It's possible, but is it healthy? I didn't ask if it's possible. Why are you trying to twist the question?
No, I'm not twisting the question.
What
Uncle
I
Jimmy,
asked is
because
that,
from experience.
Yes.
So I had a relationship and then it all ended, and years back, like 3 years after, this guy was trying to connect and then he wanted us to be friends. I tried to do it, but I realized that I think I still had some kind of feeling. So I had to just let go.
Are you reading from a script or this is your
This
own?
is me,
This
Uncle
is
Jimmy. This is me.
You said it.
So that's why I'm like, I think it's possible, but
No. Let me be honest with you. I think to play safe, an ex should remain an ex, confined to history. That's not to say you are enemies or whatever, or you can't exchange pleasantries. But for you to, because the other guy in your relationship and in his own will feel uncomfortable.
And that was why I had to just let everything go. I did it for some. No, this one.
I'm just no because I didn't I need to understand clearly.
No. So, yeah, it happens. But if you cannot cope, again, you think it's just let go. I let go. So that was why I said sometimes I think it's possible. But if you're beginning to see some kind of
What do you
feelings
think would have happened if you didn't let go?
I might.
You might have drifted.
I loved him.
Oh, he's probably listening to you right now.
No, not here. Not here.
But they listen to us all over the world.
Okay. I think I agree with you, but I think
But
I'm
if he now
100%
hears
sure.
that you say, is the love, is it in the past or present? Or present continuous?
He's married.
That has nothing to do with whether you loved him. Is it in the past, present, or present continuous? You even have to think about it. Zainab, I'm sorry for you. When you're catching hell, I won't be nearby. Let us say that the love you had for him was ample.
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, he was. Okay. This one is more for a doctor than any other thing, and is asking, has this operation affected my fertility? And it says, I got married a couple of years ago, and we have been trying for a baby without positive results. Early last year, I felt these terrible pains in my lower abdomen, and I was rushed to the hospital, and the doctor said I had an ectopic pregnancy, and that he had to operate right away to remove it from my fallopian tubes, which was already damaged. Could this be responsible for my infertility? Let me read Diabumi's answer, because I can't answer it. I don't know anything about that. And Diabumi says that, and I'm sure her older brother is a professor of medicine, so I'm sure she would have consulted him. So she says that an ectopic pregnancy is a pregnancy which occurs outside the womb. Okay? The womb is connected by means of two tubes with the ovaries. The female egg or ovum passes down these tubes, called fallopian tubes, into the womb, and then fertilization happens and the fertilized ovum lodges in the uterus. It occasionally happens that the fertilized ovum lodges in one of the tubes, and when this happens, there is no room for the ovum to grow. So trouble soon develops. Often there is pain in the lower part of the abdomen on one side, and brown discharges of slight bleeding from the vagina. If the condition continues, the fallopian tube may burst. This is frightening. No, don't get scared, okay? I'm like, see, you go into a state of panic. Think of pleasurable things that will take away that, okay. So it says the symptoms often occur soon after a missed period before pregnancy is confirmed. So in the event of pain and brown discharges, a doctor should be contacted without delay, even if you are not sure you are pregnant. The doctor then operates to remove the affected tube. After the operation, both ovaries and one healthy fallopian tube are left, so fertility is not greatly affected. I think this is good knowledge for our mothers, our sisters. Well, our mothers know what to do, but our sisters, young people who are just starting life, the signs. What I think should actually happen is we need to have the habit of going to doctors at the slightest pain that has gone beyond reason. If you have a headache, you take 2 paracetamol in the afternoon and take 2 in the night, and you wake up in the morning with the same headache, you need to go see a doctor. If you have a pain in the leg, don't think that when you went to the mosque and you put your shoe somewhere, maybe you stepped on something. Like they say sometimes traditionally, maybe you stepped on something. No. If you have a pain in the leg, it could be so many things. Yes. Or if your feet are swollen. If you have a pain in the foot, or if your feet are swollen, it could mean so many things beyond just that of ordinary strain or pain. So what I would advise is we need to imbibe the habit of going to doctors, of going to the doctor when we feel the slightest discomfort that has gone beyond what can be explained. If you have a headache, you go to bed after taking to paracetamol and so on, and you wake up with the same headache, then you got to get your BP checked, you get to get so many things checked. The other thing I need to tell Nigerians is the medical benefits of taking a vacation. We need to imbibe the habit of taking a vacation. And the older you get, the more compelling reason. I tell you this, since I turned 60, I take vacations every quarter. Every quarter. And taking a vacation doesn't mean you should go anywhere. I'm not saying you should go and rob a bank because you want to take a vacation and go somewhere. No. Just get off work, shut down. If every quarter, you can do it for a week. Just shut down. Lie down. It doesn't mean sleep all through, but shut down, take your mind off your work, and come back healthy. I know that keeping jobs are a very tough call. I just got a small note from somebody who'd been looking for jobs for the past 3 years in Lagos here, and was now telling me that the job has still refused to surface. So I know that people who have jobs always want to try to keep their jobs. But in doing so, you need to be cognizant of the damage you might be doing to your health. And this is what I say to people. If you don't stop work and take a break, the work will stop you and take you on a longer break.
So true. Yes,
because if you then fall ill, living in this world is a difficult task, but easy if you are sensible and sensitive to a whole lot of things. Okay?
Uncle Jimmy,
all right.
I'm actually conscious of time. Yes. Otherwise, I would have loved to ask, there are some people who, when they even go on leave, they still get called to ask them one or two things. So in that situation...
Is that not what you wanted to do to me? When I said I'm going on holiday, you said I should do my program through Skype. Yeah, that's what you wanted to do. I've exposed you. I got to go, everybody. I'll be here tomorrow. That's what she said. I should do through Skype when I'm on vacation. So I have to go. I'll be back again tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Tomorrow's the discourse. And tomorrow we're playing tribute to Mr. Bisi Lawrence, who died recently. So I'm going to have Mr. Izegol, Dele Adetiba is going to be here with Kelvin Ejiofor. And some other people put a call through to Ron Batog and other people and pay tribute to a great titan who just passed away. Bisi Lawrence passed away at the age of 87. And all his life, he was a journalist. There's something I'm going to tell you about Bisi Lawrence tomorrow, about what happened during the coup that wanted to take Babangida out. I'll tell you that tomorrow when you're listening. So 8 o'clock tomorrow, don't miss it. Thank you very much, Zainab. Thank you very much, Philip. I hope you're good. All right. So that's where we'll end it for today. I'll see you all tomorrow, okay? Bye.
Home of entertaining conversations.
I personally think Liverpool of last season that lost the title were better. That's my personal opinion.
Somebody who has the virus refused to isolate. That's even attempted murder, in my opinion, because you know how dangerous this virus is and you refuse to do the right thing. It should be a crime.
99.3.
A young man like me looking for what I'll fetch myself, and police are collecting my money. It's evil. What the letter will say? I'm not doing Yahoo. I have a laundry shop.
Your number one station for talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. Hello, my name is Ron.